senhoras, por favor, sentem-se. Some very, very important people here, sponsors, have made it possible to organize this party. And I'd like to mention them now.
An indication of the situation of the Down at that point in time. Suffice it to say, the next year I was elected chairman of the Parents' Committee, and then later I got pushed upstairs to be in this position now, which really doesn't have too much authority, except I sign see how successful it is today. And I really think that that is looking forward. We have such an enthusiastic group. We've introduced Girl Scouts. We've got, we're bursting at the seams with new people wanting to come into the Scout group. And I really do think we need to congratulate all these young men and youths who have been putting so much enthusiasm into building up the group. And the ladies too, I beg your pardon, who have also now been building up the founding members of the Scout group. And they are Jimmy McIntyre, we have Jeffrey Sewell and his wife, Mrs. Sewell, and Arthur Bennett and his wife. They are three founding members. And apart from that, we have I'm not sure whether she was actually the first cub mistress or whether she was merely the second cub. We have our major premises, Mr. and Mrs. Paul Geisen. We have Reverend and Mrs. Patrick Reverend and Mrs. Glauco Lima.
I've been asked to make
Camp?
Expected by our society. Tonight, we will show you how all this has been made possible.
In reality, it all started only 80 years ago in England, where Baden-Powell created the Boy Scout movement from Gilwell Park, which was to become the center of the movement throughout the world. It was a Scouts Association in England that accepted in 1928 the registration of the Carajás as a British overseas scout group. This evening, some of the founding members are among us. Arthur Bennett, Jeffrey Sewell, Jimmy McIntyre, and Peggy Winslow. Without them, we would not be here tonight. To them, we render our recognition.
Who remembers Dr. Warren of the Siciliano family, and the Rua Verghero, and the Rua Marquez di Tu, the Frigorifico Armor's place in Anastasio, the Rua Correa Diaz. But since 1955, one premise has become the main base for all our activities: the grounds of St. Paul's School, which has been not only one of continuous support in the use of their facilities for our regular meetings, but also a permanent source of pupils who have at all times been members of the group. To the headmasters, to the board of governors, and to the staff of the school, we'd like to render our recognition.
The grounds of the St. Paul's Anglican Church in Santo Amaro. This allowed for more youngsters to come into contact with the world of scouting. Other churches have also contributed in many ways to the development of the Carajás. To all of them, we render our recognition.
In São Paulo, and the actual founding of the Carajás group, one must not forget the Boy Scouts Paulistas, which was the first Brazilian group of scouting to be formed in the state of São Paulo in 1923. So they have already celebrated their 60th anniversary. And they are still in activity. In fact, today we have a prominent representative of them, Dr. Walter Schlittler, here with us, honoring our little party. Old Scouts, they have always played an important role in the activities of our group, not only through direct support, but also their Carajás scouting spirit has contributed to maintain strong the moral standards and principles of our group. To the Old Scouts, there are a lot of them here tonight, and the Boy Scouts Paulistas.
Uniforms, the parent committees have been extremely important in the organizing of social activities, such as bingos, open nights, churrascos, and so many other programs created for obtaining the funds necessary to the subsistence of the Carajás. The everlasting contribution of the parent committees in time, money, transport, and so much other volunteer work is no doubt one of the reasons for the Carajás' 60 years of existence. To the parent committees, we render our recognition.
And maintain itself without guidance and discipline. In all these years, the Carajás has always been very fortunate in the quality of its scouters and leaders. From our first scouter, Jimmy McIntyre, sitting right here with us, to our newest, Rachel Cobbin, standing here right next to me, we have always received complete dedication and time over and above all other considerations. In special, we must remember somebody who, through the years, has become a synonym of the Carajás itself. You people must be wondering who that is. Toby Scheller.
Joined together by one call, the Scouting Brotherhood, with all its principles and spirit. The left-hand shake and the fleur-de-lis are symbols of this movement. In Brazil, through the UEB, União dos Escoteiros do Brasil, which recognized the Carajás in 1944, all branches of the scouting movement are united. Lobinhos, escoteiros, escoteiros do mar, and escoteiros do ar are all an important reason for our existence. To the UEB and all brother scouts in Brazil,
transport, contributions and help. What movement can survive without friends and individual supporters? Campsites such as Chácara Flora, Valinhos, Ubatuba, Campos do Jordão. Who remembers Itatiaia and Mauá? Mojidas Cruises, and so many others. Cars, buses, trucks, and other forms of transport. Prizes, food, drink, and cash donations. All of these and a lot more have come from people who through the years have helped to maintain the Carajás Cubs, Scouts and Girl Scouts active in the movement. To all Carajás friends and supporters, we'd like to render our recognition.
Carajás has always been fortunate in having obtained significant support from the business community. Banks, industries, commerce, and service companies have always answered to the call of the Carajás. From secretarial work to airline tickets, going through bread for churrascos, copies, posting, prizes for raffles, artwork, and every other possible form of help and assistance. The business community is one of the reasons why the Carajás has come to its 60 years anniversary. To the business community, we render our recognition.
The Carajás group is made out of people. Being a foreign-based group, it has had the influence of many foreign communities. But there is no doubt that the British community has played a major role in these 60 years of Carajás history. From the BCCC, British Commonwealth Community Council, the British Consulate, and all other British societies such as St. Andrews, St. George's, St. Patrick's, St. David's, the British Legion, and the Round Table. All of them have given us much assistance, help, and guidance. It has never been shortcoming. Not to mention the facilities made available to us by the British community clubs, the São Paulo Athletic Club, the São Paulo Golf Club, the Guarapiranga Golf Club, and the Pirituba Cricket Club, not to forget the São Paulo Yacht Club, have always been an important part of our life. To the British community, we'd like to render our recognition.
But if we were to mention every person, organization, or entity that has played a part in the Carajás history, we would be here for at least another 60 hours. But there is one other special group of people we have to mention this evening. Whatever the reason or motivation for being here, everyone here tonight is an important part of our 60 years of Carajás group. To all of you, we render our recognition.
The Boy Scouts, Paulistas, the Old Scouts, the Scouters and Leaders, the parent committees, the UIB, all brother Scouts, the Carajás friends and supporters, the business community, the BCCC, and the British community, and so many other people, entities and organizations, have all at one time or another come together to maintain and develop the spirit and the principles of this movement, which now reaches its 60 years anniversary. All of them, all of us here tonight, and those who could not be here tonight, all Cubs, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Scouters, are part of our history and of our brotherhood, the family of the Grupo Escoteiro Carajás.
No scouting activity is complete without a permanent symbol for the occasion. In 60 years of the Carajás, there are many people to be honored, but it is very difficult to, among them all, select one person to receive this homage. As history is made, each and everyone here can recognize their contribution to the success of the Carajás group. So we have decided to look at the future. Tonight, as you came into the celebration, you were all invited to register your presence son a pergaminho.
Carry on, spirit, and everything that goes with Grupo Carajás. Congratulations.
The quiz? I don't think so, Toby. And he's also have one or two things to say to you. Toby Shellard.
Tonight, not only the organizers, but also the youngsters who put on this show just now. Before I get on to the quiz, I've got one or two messages to read out from old scouts, and I'm going to try and go in order of the oldest. There's a note here from Ray Racine, who was a scout in the early 30s, Tiger Patrol leader, and later on he was scoutmaster. He lives in Bristol right now. And he says here, to the second Sao Paulo Carajás on their 60th anniversary. What? Get closer. He said, this is Ray Racine. He says, to the second Sao Paulo Carajás on their 60th anniversary, at the age of 60, most people think of retiring. I'm sure the Carajás will think of no such thing. I like to think of the troop as coming of age and celebrating 60 years of vitality. I recall with enormous pleasure 10 years of camps, hikes, and amazing adventures and high jinks. And I wish the Carajás at least as much excitement in scouting as I enjoyed, and many more happy anniversaries to follow. Very best wishes, Ray Racine, Bristol. We also have a telex here from one of the three participants of the Operation Pineapple. The other two, of course, are here tonight, Hugo Vidal and Charles Downey. This one is from Jan Steckley from UK. Telex from Cambridge, UK. And I'll read it out. From the flooded wastes of Cambridgeshire, lying just south of the Norfolk Alps, to all Carajás, Hans and the cook, best wishes on another anniversary. May you all remain adorable answers to a maiden's prayer. From a coroa desajeitado, Jan Steckley. And the two other messages, these were by telephone actually. One was from Peter Bina, who rang me up yesterday morning from the United States, sending a big abrazo to everybody, and a happy birthday. And the other one was from also the United States, Ben Fye, who received the invitation and on the telephone sounded heartbroken he couldn't be here with us, but he wished the best of luck to everybody. Well, now I've got to get on to the quiz, which has one or two points which are going to be slightly embarrassing, but we have to go through with it. First of all, the first question, what was the real name of Ituban? Well, the correct answer is under A, Jack Hunter. You're supposed to do your own answering, I understand. There's no special checking on this. The second one, in what year did the Carajás first camp at Fazenda Angelim in Ubatuba? The answer, again, is A, 1976. The third question, there was a famous mule that carried our gear to Tatiaya Plateau from the 40s to mid-50s. What was its name? Well, anyone who's in those camps, I'm sure will remember. Valencia, C. The fourth, an old Carajás scouter living in the UK, frequently molests our group, mostly during July camps. Who is he? Well, the answer is B, John McNabb. The fifth question is many Easter camps were held on Frank Dor's farm near Valinhos. What river runs next to the campsite? Well, the answer is C, Rio Atibaia. Now the next question, which I don't entirely agree with, because I don't remember it being exactly this way at all, but anyhow, Toby Shellard, Carajás group and troop leader from the 30s till the late 70s, always joked about his one well-guarded secret, his age. How did he handle questions from the troop? Well, the answer, according to the fellows who organized this thing, is A, I've already reached 90, now I'm counting back from there. The seventh question, a killer is the lone wolf. In our cup packs, which of the below options include 4 Akellers exclusively? Well, it's A, Joe Sotek, Mrs. Boers, Jakes Arnold, Eileen Cleaver. Number 8, how many Carajás scouts and leaders were present at the 12th World Jamboree in 1967 in Idaho? The answer is C, 6 scouts, 2 leaders. The ninth question, John Moore was an imported scouter during the 1960s. What was his nickname in the group? B, Buck Doon. The 10th question, how is the name Carajás written in Morse code? I'm sure you all got that. It's A. Now, since 1984, that's the 11th question, the Carajás group includes a Girl Scout troop, formerly known as the Scouters. Which are the Scouter patrols today? The answer is B, Leo, Aquila, Phoenix, and Orion. The 12th question, how many Escoteiros aparte has the Carajás group developed? Who was the first? The answer is C, 18, two Charanas. But I'd like to clarify that question because it does specifically mention Carajás. In the old days, when the group was registered in London pre-war, we had 2 King Scouts, and they're both here today, Frank Dorr and Bill Treacher. They were both King Scouts, and of course before two Charanas. Now I come to the embarrassing question, 13. What of significant importance to the Carajás history happened in 1927? Well, here I should explain that I've been asked to compile a book of memories of the group. And when I was sent all the documents and logbooks to start doing the survey, I came across something very odd. I couldn't make out why. And I assume it is that now that there are Girl Scouts, their influence has had something to do with the group now, because after all, women don't like to tell you their real age. They always bring it down a bit. Well, the truth of the matter is in 1927, nothing happened. But I'll go a bit further. In fact, I've got 1 or 2 notes here. The oldest logbook we have shows that on the 13th of January 1928, a meeting was held, chaired by Mr. Pierce, at which also were present Jeffrey Sewell, Jimmy McIntyre, and Arthur Bennett, to form a scout group. But that meeting clearly mentions that a lady who was present, Miss Shaw, had been running a cub pack which was registered in headquarters in London since 1925. And here today, at least 1 or 2, I think, Harry Dodd and Frank Dorr, were cubs before 1927. So the real date is 1925. I think that should be noted because, after all, we don't want to confuse future generations. But there you are, that was the answer. The answer to that last question was nothing special, B.
Just a minute, Toby. Question number 6. I had at least 2 complaints from the audience. One was from Bill Gray and one was from Marcus Campos that your answer was wrong. Will you please explain that?
Perhaps I did that. Perhaps I used to say that in Bill's days, but that's going back quite a while. But later on, as far as I remember, I used to say 92, and that was it.
Thank you very much, Toby.
Oh, thank you.
child.